Alrighty, following weeks of soaring prices, the cost of fuel has finally started to fall after the federal government announced a reduction in the fuel excise.
The questions remain over how long the reprieve at the bowser will last. For more, I want to bring in Guardian political editor Tom McElroy live in Canberra. Tom, thanks for your time this morning. Is the government finally getting the upper hand on dealing with this crisis?
I think they're starting to feel like the worm is turning in the favour of consumers and the government. It's been a full court press from Labor to try and do anything they can to bring in more fuel supply, cut down prices. There's been something like a 30% spike at some retailers as people hit the road for Easter. So it's difficult times, but I think the government feel like they might be past the worst of some of the panic buying.
It wasn't all good news, though, for the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, many declaring, Tom, that his national address was a waste of time. That seemed like, to a lot of people, the assessment. Is that fair, do you think?
It's an interesting one. I certainly heard from people that they were very anxious going into the address and then a bit deflated coming out of it because there wasn't some big announcement. The Prime Minister was asked about this the day after the address. He said that he felt that it was a good way to counter misinformation online about possibilities of lockdown or fuel rationing, and he wanted to speak to the nation, give a calm and reassuring message. Certainly the commentary has been a bit mixed, people saying it could have been an email or a social media post, but I think the PM felt that it was time to use that special channel that he has by speaking to all the TV networks.
Now, Tom, despite fuel prices coming down slightly, retailers have warned prices on essential items will soar in the next few weeks. Not good news considering our hip pockets are already hurting. How much pressure does this put on the government to offer cost of living relief in next month's budget?
Yeah, I think they'll be really nervous about supermarkets and other retailers passing on these cost price increases. We've already seen it in some parts of the economy, not just fuel. There will be cost of living assistance in the budget. I think that's becoming an expectation every year that the May budget has cost of living assistance. On Thursday, the PM said that they were going to make sure that the increase in fuel costs didn't reach through to consumer power prices. So I think we're going to see some more spending. They're a little bit limited in how much they can add into the economy, but they'll be wanting to try and help as much as they can, and equally to not pay a huge political price for a real increase in cost of living pressure.
Tom, can we talk a bit of trade now? Because President Donald Trump, in all his wisdom, has hit Australia with yet another tariff, 100% on pharmaceuticals. The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, maintains that our alliance with the US remains strong, but you can't help but feel maybe there's some cracks starting to show, potentially?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an understatement. With friends like these in the White House, you hardly need enemies overseas. Some of the pain from this 100% tariff on branded pharmaceuticals will be lessened for Australia because